My
Yes,
okay, and can you hear me okay?
yes, you can start.
Okay. All right. So today I'll show you guys how chat GPT and how you can make money with it. It's actually super cool. I went down a giant rabbit hole and I'll show you all I went down a couple rabbit holes. So I was playing around with it quite a bit. Um, so a little bit about me. My name is Rachael Phillips. I'm a senior consultant at Microsoft. That's my email, that's my work email, and my website, which is not quite 100% developed yet. I'm still working on it because I want to make it look nicer. I also might change the URL, but anyway. All right, so that's a little bit about me. So today I'll talk about what GPT is and what it can do, creation of Chat GPT, who created it, and all that stuff. 3 ways you can make money using it, and then the how-tos here are the 3 ways that I decided to talk about, and then that's pretty much it. So Chat GPT is a natural language processing tool by OpenAI, where you can have human-like conversations with an AI chatbot. It's pretty sweet, and its headquarters are in SF, San Francisco, California. It is open source for the time being because I think it's sometimes I've gone on it and it doesn't allow me to because it's just overloaded. So I think based on that, I have a feeling at some point soon it'll probably cost some money because you know, they can only host it for so long for free. But anyway, so all you have to do is create an account for now. There's several ways that it can be used for, and I only put a few on here. Of course, I'm sure there's a gazillion times more. Gazillion's not a word, but I decided to use it anyway. So you can ask simple Google style questions. You know, I go on Google all the time asking, random things. Who married whom? Who is this person? How do you solve this? That's kind of stuff. So you can talk to it like you do Google. It can generate code for you. Not probably not everything, but some of the stuff I'll show you that you can make money off of builds actual code. You can write creative stories, which I'll also talk about. You can write blogs, get suggestions for YouTube videos. It can actually, I tried to look up if it can write music, but it can help with lyrics and chord progressions and song structure. But it cannot actually create or write actual sheet music or lyrics, or not lyrics, but it can't make music. You can write poems and short stories, summaries of books. It can help with homework solutions. I don't know how much homework solutions, but probably quite a few. Definitely like mathematical stuff, because I was kind of looking into that. Obviously within reason, so I'm sure it doesn't know everything, but it can be quite a useful tool if you want to use it. So any questions? Oh, and then here's a picture of their headquarters on the left, and bottom left is what the actual Chat GPT page looks like. So Chat GPT is an extension of the GPT, the General Pre-trained Transformer language model that was developed by OpenAI, a private artificial intelligence research laboratory consisting of the for-profit OpenAI LP and its parent company, the nonprofit OpenAI. The development is of GPT-3, which was led by the OpenAI team, with the primary contributors being, I do not know how to say his name, so I'm going to butcher it. My apologies. Ilya
Sutskever.
Sutskever?
Yep,
How you say it?
yep.
Oh, okay. This is him on the left, actually. That's a picture of him. He was one of the co-founders of OpenAI, and he's also their company's chief scientist. And of course, he works on ChatGPT. Alec Radford, he's the one at the bottom right, or at least it was a little difficult. I couldn't get pictures of the last two guys. I tried to, and I'm not even 100% sure this is the right face, but it seemed like it. So, because I put, OpenAI and he came up, so I'm pretty sure it's him. But the other two, I couldn't quite pinpoint who was whom. They had a lot of Jeff Woos, and this guy, I don't even think he showed up, but anyway. So Alec Radford, he's a research engineer at OpenAI. Jeff Woo, same thing. And then an AI researcher at OpenAI, Narinder Singh. I'm gonna assume that's how you say it, but right now, Chat GPT is based off GPT-3, which has 175 billion parameters. It is one of the largest language models that has been trained to date, making it capable of a wide range of language tasks. So it uses natural language understanding, language translation, text summarization, text completion, and text generation. It's also important to highlight that GPT-3 was trained on a data set of internet text. So it's a collective effort of many contributions to the internet and the OpenAI team to develop this model. So 3 ways I'll talk about how you can make money. Money-making browser extension. In this specific case, it will be a Google browser extension. I don't know the exact specifications for other browser extensions. And then money-making web tool and a book. And I actually have 2 methods for a book, but I only wrote one in here, but I'll explain how I saw a different video where someone created a book and published it on Kindle. They were both of the examples I saw were on Kindle, but yeah. So anyway, so to make money with a browser extension, so you'd have to think of something that's pretty simplistic. I'm just giving an example in here that's pretty simple, but a good Google Chrome extension idea, it must be pretty simple. I tried asking it for a more complicated one and it can't do it. So, or at least it couldn't do the one that I was asking for. They said it would take a lot more complex code than what they were capable of writing. So it's cool too, because when it denies you, it says like, oh, sorry, I'm not intelligent enough to do that yet. But this is how, but it does give you like suggestions. So it'll be like, but if you want to build that, it's possible. And here are some steps you can take to actually do so. So I thought that was pretty cool. So the example, it's actually one of the videos I watched, but I thought it was a pretty good one. They actually change any recipe online. If it says milk, they have it go to vegan milk, and they called it veganize. So he asked the Chat GPT to create that Google Chrome extension. You have to specify that it's Google Chrome extension, because I'm sure the coding's different for different browser extensions. So you ask Chat GPT to write that. And then it actually gives you the code and it tells you all the steps to take. There's a couple different pieces of code that you have to have. Like there were 2 files, I think it output, and it gives you the instructions for what to do for them. So you save the files into a folder, the 2 code. I don't remember what extension the code files were, but I think, yeah, but I'd have to go look. But then you go to the Google Chrome extensions page, and in the top right corner, there's developer mode. And then you can load that folder that you put those files into by clicking this thing on the left side called, I think it says load unpacked. And then it will just show up in your extensions. And then I don't know the next steps. I think you can, the next steps to make it like available, you can make it available for free, or you can like make it like 99 cents or something. But I'd have to do more research on the last little bit, but yeah, that's essentially how you'd create like a quick and easy money-making browser extension. So if you wanted to do something a little more complicated, you could also get help from Chat GPT on something like that as well. So the second way, I'll take a pause there for a second. Were there any questions?
Yes, I have a question. So what
Sure.
are you charging money for? What are you charging those 99 cents for?
To download the extension.
To download the section and to do what? Do vegan recipe?
Yeah, so for that one, that was just a simple example, but essentially it would make it only changes the word milk to vegan milk, but instead so you probably have to come up with something a little bit more sophisticated for that specific scenario, but that was like a simple example.
Okay.
But yeah, you would be charging them to use the extension that you built that would in this case change the words. Any recipes online, if there's like a web page, you would just click veganize, which is the extension, and then it would change all things that say milk to vegan milk.
Or any other, let's say you want to change beef to tofu, you can do that as well.
Right. And so you could probably ask it to add that in there too. Like you could, I mean, and I don't know, like I said, I tried to ask it for a much more complicated scenario. Like I think I asked it to write me one that does something with travel because I like to travel, but it was like, that's a little too complicated for me. So you probably have to come up with something pretty basic at first, but you could probably, after downloading, like having the code, you could probably build off of it also. Like it kind of gives you a starter point.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Anything else before I move on? Okay. So the next one was to create a web tool. So the guy on the video, he came up with an example for a VAT calculator, which funny enough, I don't actually know what that is. For me, I actually tried one that was a tax, like a sales tax or tipping tax is what I meant. Like not tax, but sorry, a tipping calculator. So like if you go to a restaurant, this is your total, what would be a 15, an 18, and a 20% tip. So that was my thought. But I just stuck with his example because his was a little bit more straightforward because mine was a little bit more complicated, but essentially his would take an amount and then it would add a VAT tax to it, and then it would calculate it for you after you pressed a button. So he went there, he said, please build a HTML for a VAT calculator that allows users to input a value and click a button that adds the VAT amount, the VAT tax or whatever the VAT is. I don't know what VAT is, amount to that amount, to the amount that you input or the user inputs, right? And then it would have a button to remove it afterwards, like clear the amount thing. And the reason he brought this one up is because you can actually build a really basic website where you've got this tool and it may be really basic, but if you get enough, what's the word, traffic to it, advertisers can start trying to get, you to advertise and pay you for it. So that's why he brought this up, because he actually showed like a VAT calculator website. I think it was this one. And he looked at how much traffic it was getting. And I think on a weekly basis or daily basis, it was getting like 20,000-30,000 hits. And of course, that's probably why it has advertisements on it. And so it was actually making quite a bit of profit. So that's why he said this would be a good way to do that. And so when you ask GPT to build you, an HTML, you have to keep it simple again. But some of these calculator things, like I think with the tipping one I thought of, I think it was pretty, I added more, like he had on his screen, he said like, he showed what he asked chat GPT to do. And I kind of rephrased what he said, but I added some stuff on there so that I could have like 15, 18, and 20% tip. And so, and it was able to do that for me. So it was a little bit more complicated than this one, but it was still it's a simple calculation. Some people can do it in their head, which that's what I do, but I bet you anything, I went and looked at a tipping calculator online or something, and I think it was getting pretty decent traffic as well. I don't think it was as good as this one, but I don't remember exactly that one. But anyway, so and you can of course develop it more where it looks nicer and stuff, because what it'll output for you is it's going to be pretty basic and not very interesting to look at. So you can always probably edit it. And then you could probably ask Chat GPT how to write HTML code to change the background or add an image or change the font. You could get some extra help with that as well to do that. So, and then the next thing would be to paste the output code into, you'd have to, go be able to actually look at it, a website developer tool. I don't know the one he was using, but I also, at the end, there's a reference to his video. So he says which one he uses. I don't know. You can also use your own, like, I can't remember how I did it when I was building my website, but I'd have to think about that one a little bit more. So if anybody has any thoughts about that, that's helpful too. So, and then you'd have to build a website, and you'd have to do a little bit more. This would take a little bit more on the back end. And then the part where you actually create, a domain and use that domain, you could use Google domains. That's what Lev showed me in the past when I was building mine, and he kind of helped me with that. So there's probably, and actually another thing you could do, ask Chat GPT how to build a website, and even just a basic one. So if you wanted to do that as well, I know I've asked it that before, and it gave me some good tips.
Rachel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to say I looked up VAT stands for value added tax. There are all
Oh yeah, what is it?
Well, in some countries, mostly in Europe, they take tax on goods and services. It's like here in US, there's a sales tax when you buy something. On some goods, there's also federal tax, which usually you don't know about it, but it's there. So we don't have VAT tax in America, but I mean in USA, but in Europe, VAT is pretty common.
Okay. Yeah, he was European. I think he was British. So
yeah.
But cool. Well, thanks for telling me that, because I probably should have looked it up, but I was just kind of I forgot. I was like, I don't know what that is, but cool. Thanks. All right. So the last one, I'll tell you the two different ways that I found that you could write a book, but this was this one was my favorite, and I'll show you why. So this one was to write a children's book. So you can come up with a character, and it's cool to come up with like a descriptive. You got to get a little bit descriptive. So like in his example, he had like Timmy the shy bear, and then come up with a scenario that they go through, and you can ask Chat GPT to write you a short story. Write a short story and give the character about Timmy the shy bear, and he fears school, or he's afraid to go to school. Then it'll output this like pretty short story, but you can take the story and have Chat GPT explain to you what the character looks like. You can say, Timmy the shy bear, can you please describe Timmy the shy bear? Like what he looks like. And then this is the fun part. So I'm going to show you another. So this is what Chat GPT looks like. And you can say, please write a short, wow, if I could type, story about Timmy the shy bear is afraid to go to school. Yeah, so I'll let that go. But then what I'll do after that is, let me go back here. I will have him describe what the character looks like. I'll have him do that. And then when I'm done with that, there's a website called Midjourney. And I've already, so here's, oh, sorry, hold on. So this is what Midjourney looks like. Hold on, I'm a little thing came up. So you can go to midjourney.com and you can join the beta, sorry, I said that funny. And it will open up, it'll open up a Discord. So if you don't have Discord, I think it'll make you have an account or something. I'm not sure the exact setup on that one because I already had a Discord account. So it was pretty easy. It just said, oh, connect your Discord account. So you might have to create one if you don't have one. And then you can go to any of these newcomer rooms and you can say \imagine, and then you can give it the prompt. So the prompt would be, so if I go back here, okay, so he goes to school. Now, please describe what Timmy the Shy Bear looks like. Okay, so I'll copy his ChatGPT's description of Timmy the Shy Bear, just like that. And I will go back. Nope, sorry. Okay, sorry, I have to move it. I'll go back here and I'll go back to my prompt and I will say, I will give it the description. And let me go all the way down. Oh, shoot. Here we go. Okay. So where's mine? Okay, so this is mine. It'll take about a minute roughly. But it will output what Timmy the Shy Bear looks like. So it's still thinking.
This is excellent.
Isn't that cute?
Yeah.
Isn't this fantastic? I got so wrapped up in this. I was actually trying to describe myself and get like a, yeah, so it creates 4 images for you. And
you mean Rachael Shy Bear? Or like
no, I tried to make my own. I tried to make it draw me. So I actually have a profile and I tried to make it draw me. And then I also had it draw a Dungeons and Dragons character I used to have. Anyway, long story. I had it write me a short story about a dragon, a girl dragon. And this is what it drew when I had it describe, when I had ChatGPT describe the dragon.
And this is not copyrighted, so you can just use it?
Yeah. Yep. It's created by an AI. So.
But I heard that there is a product by the same company. That,
yeah, it's called DALL-E 2. I put it in the chat.
DALL-E. Yeah, DALL-E. Why didn't you use DALL-E?
I didn't know about it. I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, because it does same thing what you shows, but it's utilizing, you know, their own software. So it would be much simpler to work with. ChatGPT software.
This isn't ChatGPT.
Yeah, but the DALL-E is just for
Okay.
your future consideration.
Okay, yeah, I've never heard of it, so I didn't know. This was what the guy did in his video, so I thought it was really cool. I never heard of DALL-E.
Look it up.
Okay, thanks.
I think it's 2 competitors right now. I think that there is one more company. It's a 3 company right now doing description. I would say image creation based on description. DALL-E, yeah. And third one I forgot. Sorry, if I'll find out, I'll post this.
Yeah,
Three
cool.
company. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the last little thing was to, you know, if you wanted to create a book, you can follow the little story it wrote for you, and then, you know, go and you can describe your character. Oh, sorry. You can describe your character in here, and like you can say the same thing, but then you could say he's sitting on a bench, or you know, something like that. So it'll give you a picture that you could use for your book. And then from there, once you're you've gotten this, you know, the book finalized, or like roughly the pictures and the story put together, you can use a tool like Book Bolt Studio. I put a link in it for the presentation. And you can so you can actually put it into a nice, you know, organization and then download it as a PDF. And then you can also you can go to Amazon KDP and upload that PDF. And I don't know the next steps after that with a book on Amazon, but I know it's pretty easy to publish a book there. So and then there was another, this was the cooler one in my opinion, but there was another video I saw where the guy, he actually had Chat GPT write a whole book for him, but he didn't ask him to write a whole book. He said, give me the top 100 drama books or nonfiction books or something. Oh no, self-help books. That's what he said. It was self-help books, and they gave him a list. And then he took that list and he had it write a summary for each one. And then he took the summary and he put it all together and made it a book. So I thought that was kind of funny. And then he called it like summary of the top 100 self-help books or something like that. I don't remember exactly what he put, but yeah. And then yeah, so those were the 3 main ones that I thought were interesting ways to make money. And then I put some of the videos I watched and some of the other websites. And then actually I might add a couple more websites in here before I give the final product over to, okay, I can't, over to Lev for him to put on his in that file share. But that's it.
Rachel, can you go to ChatGPT and ask it some technical question? How to merge 2 pandas data frames?
Wait, say it one more time.
2 pandas.
Fantastic.
Pandas data frames.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you will have. I asked how to use Google API to translate text. It also gave me full description and steps.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's pretty intelligent. I mean, it's pretty intelligent.
In Python, it gave me all steps, everything.
Well,
Yeah.
It's interesting. If I will interview ChatGPT like I interview people for job, like for example, one of my favorite questions: what's the difference between inner join and left join? Inner join and left join. Yeah.
It'll probably give you a better answer than most people.
Okay, interesting. So first of all, it remembers the context. It remembers that we spoke about pandas.
Oh, no. Oh, well, yeah, it says SQL and it also supported in pandas. Yeah, that's cool.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it remembers the context until you like refresh the page. So if you continue the conversation, it will remember the context.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Okay, ask him how to make more money.
Oh,
It's better to describe yourself. You know, let him describe. This is interesting.
Where is the answer?
I don't know. I think I just asked it this question and it says, oh, now it's just kind of sitting there. Okay, there it goes.
Fantastic.
I know, this is great. Getting a higher paying job or asking for a raise.
Starting a business, yeah. Okay, so you can start approximating like more and more questions and eventually get a recipe.
Rachel, do you know how it works from a legal perspective? Like who owns all that information that's on there? Can I take that and put it on everything, or will they can they come back to me and say, hey, that's actually OpenAI's, property or whatever? Do you know how that works?
I don't think so from what I've seen, I don't believe so. Like, I think because it's like you can argue that it's AI who wrote it, it was not like plagiarized or stolen. But I could be wrong. But from what I've seen, I would say no.
Okay. Yeah, because I know
Because
school.
how can you publish how would people be telling you, oh, publish a book that all this stuff, and then it's like, oh, well, guess what? It's not really yours. But that's a good point. It's a good question. And I don't actually have the legit 100% answer for you, but I would imagine the answer is no. And from what I've seen, it's a no.
Yeah, because I read that the other day that at some school on the East Coast, I don't know if it was Ivy League or not, someone had written code that can identify whether the answer comes from OpenAI or not. So maybe that at one point they'll identifying, you know, whether you actually wrote it yourself or you just copied it from.
Rachel, can you please ask it like, how do I say I love you in German?
You can just ask me, Lev. I can tell you the same thing.
Ich liebe dich. Okay.
I know.
Wow.
That's cool. And it actually explains to you the different uses.
It's
Yeah, I
like
don't know. I could have done
this
that.
is
Pretty impressive.
Okay, how does it actually sound though? Can you say it?
Yeah, it's ich liebe dich, ich hab dich lieb. It did pretty well.
Huh.
But maybe
Well,
it's next step. OpenAI is going to talk to you. I'm guessing that's going to come soon.
oh yeah, I bet they could. I bet at some point they'll be like able to have a voice there.
Interesting.
oh.
Yeah, this thing is too much fun. I won't lie.
You love.
So those of you who are listening, if you don't have an account, go and get it today.
I already created.
It's actually very difficult. I tried to open an account for the last 2 days. It's just overwhelmed. It doesn't open a new account.
Huh.
Will take a few days. They will send you. I think there is a line to subscribe.
Oh wow, I must have gotten lucky because I created mine as soon as Lev brought it up to me, and I went and created it, but it took me like 2 seconds. So,
Yeah.
but it said like, I think I used my like Microsoft or my Google account or something.
I
Well,
subscribe.
Microsoft is a major investor, so no.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I subscribe with a Gmail account. I think.
Mm.
The minute I subscribe to Dell E, then I was able to easily subscribe to Chat GPT. But it's fantastic. I know it's 2 different ways, but very interesting.
I can generate presentations for the seminar.
It's a good idea.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, the one thing I think I tried here that doesn't work, I don't think it produces any images for you either. No audio, no images. It's all just language.
Yeah, but we have DALI. Or you can ask it. What is DALI? DALI is
How do you spell it?
DALLE. DALLE.
Like
But
Dali,
it's
No.
open AI,
DA.
Dali.
no,
DALLE. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Oh.
Oh,
Well, it's all caps. OpenAI, DALI. Yeah. Yeah.
oh, there's a dash.
Oh, okay.
Dal E. Okay.
Oh, you can ask it what is GPT.
I did.
Okay.
So you said it was using version, or I was like looking up what it was, and then I was like, wait, why don't I just ask it?
Right.
Yeah, I did this. Yep, that's what it.
It talks too much. Cool.
Yeah, it has a lot to say.
Well, it was nice. I think we had fun. Rachel, thank you very much for putting this together.
Yes,
Yeah.
Rachel, thank you very much. Fantastic job. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
It's very interesting. Thank you, Rachel. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is interesting, and it's also really fun. I really like the images. I was getting really into that. I was trying to describe myself so I could see if it would draw something that or make something that looks like me.